Oh my gosh.
It
Man,
would
I
be
don't even know who would
so
win.
good.
I don't
It
even
would
know
be
who would win
so
on that.
good. It would be
This
like
is
oh my god, I don't even know.
here's someone that says, and have an insider sending them emails about your visits. So they're snitching
Mhm.
about the person that's telling me about the visits.
We have so many little snitch bitches in here.
It
Hi,
is this
snitch
person.
bitches. Hi, snitch bitches.
I'm writing, well on, I'm getting out my little notebook. I'm writing them down. Writing them down. Writing them down. They're just going to be added to the list. So, I mean, I know it's just a troll account, but it don't matter. It's still getting written down. Chungus 406. Got it. Okay. Yeah, 0 followers. Um, Sherry, I'm not sure if it's the same person that I'm thinking of. If you have a username, I can look them up. Yeah, I have a handy dandy notebook for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I have another story here. I'm sorry it's hailing there, Jay Grandma. I hope everything's
Oh, Jay
okay.
Grandma. Jay Grandma, my heart is with you because I know how freaked out you are right now.
I hate that.
Hmm.
Um,
Tungus Among Us.
so I'm not sure if this person wants to reveal themselves or not. So I'm just going to read this, and if they would like to reveal themselves in the comments, they can. I love you and Polly for what y'all are doing. I think part of the reason I get invested in trying to help Lisa with y'all is because I feel helpless in my own situation a bit. My husband and I were addicts for the first 10 years of our marriage.
Oh,
Pills.
no.
We were homeless, being evicted regularly, and even dealt with DCS, which caused us to finally get clean. We've been off drugs for 7 years now, but my husband has now started having some issues with alcohol. Some people are long term addicts, and whether it's drugs, alcohol, or other habits, they will always have that weakness. He's been heavily drinking for 2 years now. I get frustrated that we worked so hard to overcome addiction just for him to go back into it. But I know what it's like to deal with it myself. He has attempted to cut back, but always ends up at the same level again. He battles depression, which no doubt is in part from the alcohol. I love him so much, and he is a great father and husband, even though he struggles with addiction. But he is not the same man I married. Anyone who has been with someone struggling with alcohol knows it changes them. Our relationship is struggling, and we don't talk much. So I sit on TikTok on live when I'm not at work. So spending time with y'all is my refuge. I'm doing my best to help him, but I have to pick my battles daily. I think daily if he would do I think daily if he would do better if I left. But I also know we have overcome addiction before and we can do it again working together. And I don't want him to get worse. Keep him in your prayers that I can get him help and he will accept it. But in the meantime, if I can't get him to listen right now, I will do what I can to help others struggling with the same. So people think we're obsessed or whatever. They don't know each of us and our stories and why it hits home with so many of us. Your page gives me hope that even if I hadn't been able to get my husband sober yet, I can help others, and it is still possible. And it also gives me an outlet and a community of friends. Thank y'all for what y'all do, and I will always be here to help you bring awareness. I'm not sure if anybody in the comments claimed that story,
That's wonderful.
but I thank you for that. I know it has to be difficult every day, and you just have to do what you think is best. Stay strong. We're glad to have you here,
Um,
and we have your support. I mean, you have
Absolutely.
our support. You have our support and our encouragement, and Our heart goes out to you, and I hope that he does get help.
I noticed in the comments, guys, a lot of people are saying that they needed this tonight.
Mhm.
Yes.
Everything happens for a reason, you
Everything
know?
does happen for a reason.
I truly believe that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jay Grandma, please be careful.
Hmm.
She's under a tornado warning.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tara. Another brief story here. They do not want their information shared. Hey guys, I haven't known all of y'all long, but I've been following Lisa and praying for her privately for years. I'm an addict myself, not on actual rugs, but I'm addicted to food. This is not a BS email. It is very real. I have almost unalived in the past because of issues with weight, and I've fought this for so long, but I feel like I'm losing. I'm actively gaining weight again, and I feel powerless to stop it. Please keep me in your thoughts and prayers. I know this is an addiction as y'all know it, but to me, addiction is addiction, no matter the substance.
Exactly.
And that is so true. And
Hmm.
I'm so sorry. Um, and I know so many people that have dealt with the same thing, and it truly is. It's devastating as well. It definitely is. Can be there. There can be addictions to anything. And I'm so sorry that you're dealing with it.
Hmm.
We're with you. We support you, and
Yeah, food addiction is really
I.
hard because you need food to live. So food addiction is especially hard
Mhm. Mhm.
because you have to exercise self-control. And it's so hard to do. You can't do that in addiction.
Mhm.
And yet you need food to live. So
So
it's
hard.
really hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's socially acceptable. And it's tough. It's tough. It is. It was really tough. I used to have a food addiction myself. And I had weight loss surgery, and that took care of it for me. It did. Like I wasn't able to eat anymore.
And
Like the
I mean, for some people, that even that isn't a solution either.
I know,
So.
I know. That's why it's so difficult. Like my heart goes out to her completely.
Mhm. Mhm. Um, I have another brief story here. I'm not sure if they want to, claim this or not. They can if they want in the chat. I married my high school sweetheart. He smoked Mary Jane. After I had our son, he eventually got on math. He never stopped. We divorced because I had to choose a better life for my son. During this time, myself, I slipped into doing um, croquet for about a year. It's like I had an epiphany moment and I thought I'm no better than my son's dad, and I stopped. My son's father ended up signing his rights away. He was unalived back in 2014. Fast forward to now, I have a wonderful husband. I see Jessie SBR with the gray heart saying that is her. She's there in the chat. Fast forward to now, I have a wonderful husband. We do have a stepson that's addicted to F. We had to separate ourselves from him because we can't do that to our entire family. This group has helped me so much. I don't feel alone anymore. I love y'all, and I'm glad I found this group who I feel as a family. Thank you so much, Jesse. We
Thank
appreciate you
you.
being here. We appreciate you sending your story.
Yes,
We're so happy to have you here.
absolutely.
And I hope that I don't know. Hope things turn around for your stepson. I really do.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone who's sharing your stories.
Yep. I have more. I have more here. This person wants to stay anonymous. Scam Slam Fam. Let me first say you guys are all amazing, and I'm so glad I found you all. She says her TikTok name here though, so I don't. But I'm not gonna say it because then she also said not to reveal it. So unless she says it herself, I'm not gonna give it out. She says she's usually a silent watcher. Hearing all these stories and Paranormal Polly's story of getting clean gave me the strength to speak this, even if only in an email. I've lived this secret for about 6 years now, and no one, it's in all caps, no one knows except for the person who gave me my first Adderall to, quote, help me make it through a shift, unquote, at work. Now, over 6 years later, I am sadly addicted. I buy them off her, and this unalives me to admit that I have even taken some from my kids' leftover that they don't take on weekends or holidays, etc. God, even just reading that over makes me feel like such a trash parent and person in general. Every month when I run out, I tell myself, okay, this is it. Don't even try to get back anymore. Don't even try to get any more. But it always comes back and I find a way. I hear all these people speaking on their success stories, and I hope that one day I can be one of those stories. Thank you all for being the great people you are. Keeping doing what you're doing. I promise you're making a difference. Okay, Lisa posted about us. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much to sharing your story. I understand why you might feel like you don't want anyone to know or why you want to stay anonymous with that.
Yes.
But just know that you can turn it around. You can do it.
Exactly.
And I'm glad that we could be here to support and encourage you. And I hope one day you'll be sending me a different type of email letting me know that you were able to get past that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wish the best to whoever that is as well. Another message, if someone wants to claim it, they may. I'm here to share my story. I'm an alcoholic in recovery for 5 years. When I was in treatment, I decided I was going to help others. It's still a daily struggle. I now work in recovery and I work with broken quote unquote Lisas every day. If those enablers only could see what it's like having addicts that are so bad off and trying to help them through those first few minutes, hours, and days and the suffering that they go through, maybe the insanity would stop. It's not funny, it's not entertaining, it's heart wrenching. Aside from emotional, it's dangerous. Yep. And this is why we try to prevent the enabling. There are so many. This is by Joanne. She's here in the comments. Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you, Joanne.
And you're making a difference working in recovery. And I know it's difficult and a lot of times it's probably a very thankless job, but you're trying
Exactly.
and we support you in that.
Absolutely.
Um I have a poem that someone sent in. Um and if someone wants to claim this, they can. I am your disease. You know who I am. You've called me your friend. Wishes of misery and heartache I send. I want only to see that you're brought to your knees. I'm the devil inside you. I am your disease. I'll invade all your thoughts. I'll take hostage of your soul. I'll become your new master in total control. I'll maim your emotions. I'll run the whole game till your entire existence is crippled with shame. When you call me, I come, sometimes in disguise. Quite often, I'll take you by total surprise. But take you I will, and just as you feared, I'll want only to hurt you with no mercy spared. If you have your own family, I'll see it's destroyed. I'll steal every pleasure in life you've enjoyed. I'll not only hurt you, I'll unalive if I please. I am your worst nightmare. I am your disease. I bring self-destruction, but still you can't tell. I'll sweep you through heaven, then I'll drop you in hell. I'll chase you forever, wherever you go, and then when I catch you, you won't even know. I'll sometimes lay silent, just waiting to strike. What's yours becomes mine, 'cause I take what I like. I take all you own, and I won't care who sees. I'm your constant companion. I am your disease. If you have any honor, I'll strip it away. You'll lose all your hope and forget how to pray. I'll leave you in darkness while blindly you stare. I'll reduce you to nothing and won't even care. You don't take for granted, so don't take for granted my power sublime. I'll bend you and break you time after time. I'll crumble your world with the greatest of ease. I'm that madman inside you. I am your disease. But today I'm really angry. You want to know why? I let this whole room of addicts slip by. How did I lose you? Where did I go wrong? One minute I had you, the next you were gone. You can't just dismiss all the good times we've shared. When you were alone, wasn't I who appeared? When you sold those possessions, you knew you wouldn't need. Oh, you knew you would need, excuse me. Wasn't I the first one who stepped in and agreed? Now look at you bastards, you're thinking clear. You've escaped with your lives when you found your way here. Only fools think they're winners when admitting defeat. It's what you must say when you're claiming that seat. So go ahead and surrender if that's what you choose. But I'm not giving up because I can't stand to lose. So go to your meetings and pray hand in hand for God to come save you, leaving me to be damned. Well, be damned all your meetings each night of the week. Be damned higher powers, however unique. Be damned all your sayings. Be damned your cliches. Be damned every addict who back to me strays. For I know it will happen. I've seen it before. Those who love misery will crawl back for more. So take comfort in knowing I'm waiting right there. But next time around, you better beware. I am your disease. You think that you're stronger or smarter this time. There isn't a mountain or hill you can't climb. Well, if that's what you're thinking, you still ain't learned a thing. I'll still knock you silly if you step back in the ring. But you say you've surrendered, so what can I do? It's sad in a way. I had big plans for you. Creating your nightmare for me was a dream. I'm sure going to miss you. We made quite a team. So please don't forget me. I won't forget you. I'll stand by your side watching all that you do. I'm ready and waiting, so call if you please. I won't let you forget me. I am your disease.
Wow, that is amazing. Wow. Did it say who
Wow.
wrote that poem?
Um, Let me see. I'm not sure if that's an original poem or if it was, someone that found that, elsewhere, in a book or a clip or somewhere. I don't know the source of that. And I'm not sure if anybody here in the comments has claimed to have sent it. They would know the source, maybe.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can find it on Google. That's cool. That was really cool.
Let me see. Oh, um, these are the purple people that are following the account that snitched over there about us.
Mm.
Look who's following the account.
Mm.
Hmm.
Oh, how about that? They tell on themselves. Mm.
Interesting.
You can tell we're best friends because we say the same shit at exactly the same time.
Hmm.
So funny. Yep.
I have to keep my
Um,
mouth closed, so I'm keeping my mouth closed.
Right. I'm not gonna say anything else.
yeah. Give me a moment. I'm just getting through these emails. Lisa's page.
No, I do not have a Paranormal Polly 2.0 account.
No, never did.
Never have. Never have. In fact, when that all went down, we were live streaming Lisa
Yeah. And a bunch
and
of us were
looking at the
here.
comments. And looking at the comments.
Yep.
So, no.
A bunch of you were here. I mean, it was back in like in the beginning when we didn't have as many followers. But yeah. Yeah, thank you, Nicholas. But yeah, that was a fake account. We were all literally live streaming.
Both of you
Jay
are
Grandma
literally
was
fucking
Jay Grandma was
Grandma.
definitely here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
both
a
of you
lot
are
of people were
magicians.
here. A lot of people were here.
Yep. Yep. Jay Grandma was here. Nope. She's trying to stop us for what we're doing. That's all.
Yep.
But she never had an account called that. Never ever.
No, I didn't. In fact, he knows all my backups, which I don't have anymore, unfortunately, because they died on my old phone last night.
He
But
actually showed all of your accounts, so
yeah, he showed all my accounts. He knows the accounts I had, and he accused me of it being on Anne Bonny. So I logged into Anne Bonny and I went on Anne Bonny and I said, "Hey, you know, here's the deal. It's not Anne Bonny." He knows. Here's the thing. He knows that I didn't do that account. He knows it.
yeah, he knows it. hmm I'm not sure I'm going through
Even if
all the emails.
I had done it, which I didn't, it's fucking emojis. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Let's not even give it any time.
Yeah.
No, I mean he's already had that posted on his page for a while. He knows this. I mean, he knows it's false. Like we've all told him it was false. I mean, we were all watching it live when it happened. We were literally sitting here watching her live, and we saw that pop up on the screen, and we were like, "What is that?" Because there were also bots that like took over and were putting all these emojis in there and stuff. And we were
Hmm.
like, "What is happening? Why is all them emojis popping up?" I mean, the screen was going crazy. Yeah, Ravioli saw it live. Yeah, lots of people saw it live. We were here live streaming. So yeah, definitely not her, definitely not me, definitely not any of us. So
Yeah, my phone wiped out for good. Yeah, the day after my birthday, I was so bummed. I was so bummed. But I have one that I'm using right now until a new one gets here in 5 days. Yay!
yay.
But yeah, the phone saga. It's a whole thing.
So
It's
I
an
have
annual
a second part to I don't even really know Jesse, to be honest with you. He's something that seems like he's decided to start some kind of war with us for some reason. I don't even really know.
Yeah. At this
Yeah.
point, like we've tried to fix it. We've done everything we can. He's still gonna do his thing. So
It's
Yeah,
nothing to
I've been
fix. He's irrelevant.
yeah, that's why I'm just like not even.
Like, let's move.
Um
Next.
It's somebody who's trying to distract us from what we're doing, is the
Right.
way I look at it.
Exactly.
yeah.
Um,
Next.
yep. I have a second part to the person that had emailed about the food addiction. So there's some additional things that they wanted to share about that. They said, I'm the one that emailed about being addicted to food. I really wish I wasn't so embarrassed about this, but the food addiction is very embarrassing, as some don't see it as a valid addiction.
It
I,
is.
yeah, it is. I wish
Mhm.
I could get weight loss surgery. My husband has top line insurance and they won't cover it. It's caused so many issues, and I feel like I'm losing the battle because I feel like I'm stuck at this weight, giving my health issues. I've lost so much weight before. I lost well over 100 pounds. I just can't get it started again. This last time I lost so much weight, I starved myself to the point that I was so weak I couldn't hardly walk. So, Scam Slam fam, if y'all have any suggestions, please say them. I am silently watching in the chat. So,
Well, we love you, first of all. First of all, we love you.
yes.
And second of all, it's just so hard. I mean, I don't even know what advice to give. Like for me, I had weight loss surgery, but that doesn't work for other people. And then I became really poor. You could become really poor and not be able to afford food. No, I'm just kidding. But it's really hard.
Yeah, if anyone has suggestions, they're watching, they're listening.
There
Um,
are online support groups, and support pages that are really, really helpful, for this particular type of thing. But this is a valid addiction. It absolutely is.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no question.
So there are people that are giving some suggestions here.
Yeah, a good therapist is, I got a therapy my whole life and trauma therapy, and I'm still in therapy now. A little therapy never hurt anyone. Only good things can come from it.
Hmm.
So according to my research, and I haven't started it yet because I have a food addiction. I'm not afraid to hide it. Uh, Intermittent fasting. That is the thing that is actually working right now for a lot of people. It doesn't matter how old you are, what weight class you're in, anything. Intermittent fasting. People, it's not a trend. It's not a thing. It's actually it's what your body's supposed to do. Believe it or not, we're supposed to do that with dogs too. We're supposed to fast our dogs. I don't know if any people know that. Our body is composed of good and bad bacteria, and we have to sometimes reset that bacteria in our bodies. We have to do that for our dogs as well. So sometimes it's good to starve your dogs. 13, 14 hours is not bad. Uh, you got to give the if you're feeding your dog 2, 3 meals a day, you're stuffing their bellies just like we are ourselves. We're not giving our bodies time to restore the good bacteria to get rid of the bad, and that's why we end up with so much belly fat.
Yeah, I just feed my dog once a day. My dogs, they just get fed
Yeah,
once a
right.
day.
So I have
Yeah.
another message here to scam
Oh,
Polly, scam Tattoo and Polly. I'm not nearly as eloquent as the others who have written to you. My story is short. So if somebody wants to take credit for this, please do, because they didn't say. I grew up being passed around to different family members and eventually a group home, most of it horrible. I met my husband at age 17. He was 21, and I lied and I told him I was 20. I fell madly in love. He grew up a traditional nuclear family, the kind I always dreamed of. We raised 4 amazingly beautiful and happy children. They are great. 5 beautiful grandkids. Truly, he saved me and showed me what a happy family could be. We had our ups and downs. Nothing major. Nothing major. Never used drugs. Never. Enjoyed drinks. Never rugs. A year ago, he had a massive stroke. It was tough, but he recovered. What a miracle. A side effect was him having trouble sleeping. A coworker gave him Xanax. He took 10 and 45 days, not abusing them. They
Okay,
worked.
still a lot.
Went a month was sleeping okay, but then he asked the coworker for more. I suggested it. He was exhausted. I worried about his commute to work. If I could take it back, I would. His coworker gave him another 5 Xanax. 2 months ago, he took one. I woke up in the morning at 7 a.m. and he was still sleeping, so I thought it was strange because he was normally up and out at the door by 6 a.m. Went to the bathroom, came back to bed, and put my arm around him. He was ice cold. I'm trembling and crying writing this, so I apologize. He
Oh,
was gone. Called 911. They came. Our sweet grandchild had stayed the night. Thankfully, he slept through it. I know this is all over the place, but since there were 4 Xanax left in the bottle, the police took it and it was sent to a lab. Although they looked identical to Xanax, because I had looked online, they were F. My
no.
beloved husband and love of my life since I was 17 died of an F overdose.
Oh my.
I'm crushed. I don't even know what I'm saying or if it makes any sense. But a few weeks ago, I stumbled upon your TikTok page during an especially bad night of me throwing and breaking every single dish and glass in the house. I've kept a strong facade to my children and grandchildren, but I was alone that night and destroyed everything. Laying in my living room on top of broken shards of glass and broken glass all around me, I was over it. I was sending a text and decided to go on TikTok, which I hadn't been on in months. I came across you and Polly in Tattoo, and I have to tell you, it soothed me. I know my story isn't a story of addiction, so I don't know why I'm writing. Yes, I do. I'm writing because when I was lying in those shards of glass, I wanted to go be with my husband. I was going to be with him. I had it planned out to look like an accident. But I came across your TikTok account. Something about your voices. I don't know. It sounds weird. But listening to you three stopped me. I've been listening ever since. I'm fragile as fuck. And every hour is different. But I thank you. I pray for Lisa. And I know my story isn't about addiction, but it is about rugs. And F killed my sweet husband. And it killed my soul. Every day is a struggle. His coworker denied giving it to him, and I don't understand it because he had no idea it wasn't Xanax. The lab said it was pressed F, made to look identical to Xanax. Anyway, sorry for rambling. You don't have to read this, but you have to read okay. Wait, you have my okay to read this, but I understand if you don't because it's different. Thank you so much. Just know that you're touching people who aren't even addicts. You saved my life that night in a room full of broken glass, broken dishes, and a broken me. Never stop what you're doing. I'm still broken, and I'm so fucking angry and furious and pissed off that this happened.
Right.
Thank you all. Today, I'm here because of you.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm so glad you're still here.
We're so glad you're here.
So glad.
We need you here. You're needed.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you have people that love you.
Yes. We love you.
Here and in real life. You know, your
Yes.
family.
Yes.
You're needed and you're loved.
Yes.
And I'm so sorry that happened.
Oh my gosh. Ugh. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry if I'm missing comments. I can't see. Tears stay nice. Oh my gosh.
And the ironic thing is about all of this, guys, it's all one person who has brought this conjecture into everything.
Yes.
Very true.
How
Uh-huh.
crazy is that? That one single person with an addiction problem has brought this entire community into one huge just this is just
Yeah. We're all here for each other. We're a
this is
network.
all right. This is all bigger than us now though.
Yeah, it
Hmm.
is. It really is.
So Lisa, I really hope you're sitting there watching, and I really hope you're not doing what I think you're doing and watching because
I'm
this
so
is this
sorry,
is
Simply
this is
Megan.
yeah, we're so sorry, Megan.
Yes.
This
Oh
is
my
this
gosh.
is real life.
Yeah.
This isn't a joke. Like it's over now. It's done.
Yes.
I have another story.
You sure
Okay,
we can
let me take
handle
a
another
breath.
one?
Yeah,
Let me take a breath.
I
Woo!
mean we want to make sure people are able to share.
Yes,
It's important.
Absolutely.
It's
absolutely.
important. It's
It
important.
is.
Anybody needs a minute to themselves, they could definitely, put the phone
Yeah,
down and just,
absolutely. But everybody's story is important. So
absolutely.
I was married to an IV math addiction or addict, I should say, for 10 years. I tried helping him so many times with rehab, and he would be clean for a couple of months and then started using again. The last 4 years of our marriage was the worst. If I wouldn't give him money, he would beat me. But January 28th, 2019 was the day that my life changed forever. When my husband was fighting with me to give him money and I wouldn't give it to him, he pushed me down 6 flights of stairs and
Oh
unalived our unborn son. I was 8 months pregnant.
my God.
I went into severe depression. I wanted to unalive myself, but I didn't because I had two other boys I had to take care of. It's been 5 years now, and I'm still picking up the pieces of trauma me and my kids went through. Addiction affects the addict's family more than the people think. Thank you for letting me tell my story.
Oh,
So I'm not sure if that person's here wants to take credit or wants to stay anonymous.
right.
I'm so sorry. So sorry. That's awful.
Oh, whew.
And I wish the best for you to be able to continue picking up those pieces. And it's going to take time. It's going to take time.
It's so hard to get over stuff like that. It really is. Really is. Oh, so sorry.
Right? Yeah, we need a Scam Slam family retreat, huh?
Right.
I have another email here. Hey, Scam. I love you and Polly and tattoos. I wanted to share some things about me to show that sobriety is possible for Lisa or anyone. I got hooked on the needle and oxy at 14 years old. My
Wow.
my boyfriend that was 19 told me to do it if I loved him, so I did.
What a jerk.
This disease is sick. It started a life of addiction that went out of control. I ran away from home for years to stay with him and got worse and worse on drugs. I tried rehab when I was 18 and ended up on methadone and with another toxic man that introduced me to H and Crocrane. Years went by of me being on that, and my life got worse and worse. In and out of 50 rehabs, detoxes, jails, institutions, and almost unaliving. My mother had to sit by my side while I was in a coma for weeks from yet another overdose, number 5. She also sat by me, detoxing, begging to unalive, begging for God to heal me. She is who I hurt the most and who I regret hurting more than anyone. She never left my side, though. She never gave up on me. I ended up on the streets, selling my soul for my next fix. I wanted to unalive. Living was too painful, and I couldn't find the will to get sober. Finally, I ended up in jail for 6 months with no bond. It saved my life. I'll always be grateful that I was arrested. I wouldn't be here if I hadn't been. I was the lowest of the lowest addicts, and I was able to get my life together. After jail, I went to meetings, I sponsored, I did outreach work, everything to keep me sober. Seeing Lisa is a daily reminder that I am one use away from where she is. It's frustrating because I want her to live. I've lost my partner, my parent, 80% of my friends to ODs. It's hard to watch. I wanted to share my story because if I can get clean, anyone can. Thank you for all you do. You give me hope and help me keep myself in check. And I appreciate you all. And if somebody wants to claim that, they can. They left their name, but I'm not sure if I should reveal that.
Right.
Um, sounds like you've been through a lot, and from a very young age.
Absolutely.
And congratulations to you for being successful, and for sharing your story. You know, we support you.
Mhm.
We support you here. And I wish you the most continued success.
Mhm.
That's a lot to overcome at a very young age. Again, I won't give the name, but I will read the story and they can claim this if they wish. This is someone else who has a story that started at a very young age. My journey with addiction started at the age of 14. It started with 420 and a high school sweetheart that wasn't so sweet in the end. Going into sophomore year, I met a man who I thought I would spend the rest of my life with, only to later be forced, excuse me, only to later be forced into using drugs, IV drugs to be specific. He isolated me from all of my friends and family. I couldn't even call my own mother. At this point in my story, I'm 18 years old living in an apartment complex people call felony flats. As time went on, it only got worse, and I would lay in bed every night crying, begging God to help me quit, help me get out of this abuser's arms. We had gotten evicted from where we were and ended up moving in with his parents. Not even a week into moving, I felt off, sick, no period, and well, I decided to test for pregnancy. When I told you those two pink lines showed up, I fell to my knees and bawled my eyes out. I reached out to my mama, who had no idea the hell I'd been living, and I asked her to come get me, to come take me home. I detoxed on my mom's couch cold turkey, and by the grace of God who sent me this tiny life blessing, 9 months later, I gave birth to a beautiful baby girl,
Oh.
Nevaeh Ray Grace. Quote, my heavenly ray of grace, unquote. A few weeks or months went by, and I ran into a man I always dreamed of being with. We started getting close. Knowing my story and that I was carrying another man's child, he took me into his arms, and from that point forward, that baby growing inside me was his baby. We raised her. He was her dad. That's all she knew to be, because sadly, her sperm donor never got sober and only got worse. Fast forward to our baby girl being 2.5. I relapsed, as had he. He was also a recovering addict. Things got ugly, and my mom stepped in and threatened to take my baby girl from me if I didn't leave this man of my dreams. So that's what I did. He moved out of state and got sober, as did I. About a year later, another man came into my life, a firefighter whom treated me and my girl like queens. We had just bought our first home together. This is 2014. One morning, he and my daughter were on their way to a funeral on his side of the family, only they never made it there. I was working that day, and it was 4 p.m., and I couldn't get a hold of my boyfriend, and that was odd. His phone was off, and I remember the last text I sent to him that said, quote, I hope you're still alive, unquote, only to get a call 5 minutes later from my mother, hysterical, and I couldn't understand what she was trying to tell me, only that I needed to meet her at the hospital, that something happened. So I got into my car, turned it on, and was shaking. I felt like I was being punked. I realized I couldn't drive, so my sister came and got me. When I tell you that was the longest drive, 5 minutes, of my life. I jumped out of the car before she had stopped and ran so fast into the ER, almost breaking the revolving doors. A nurse there was expecting me. I asked, where's my daughter? Where's my boyfriend? She simply said, come with me. I was brought into the smallest room, only to see my mom and my grandparents, and so many more family members have gotten there before me. My mom was on her knees, bawling. I looked at her and said, Mom, where is my girl? She looked at me and said, I am so sorry, baby. She is gone. I
Oh.
asked, well, what about Martin? She lost it even more and told me they were both gone. When I
Oh.
tell you, I ran out of that hospital so fast and fell to my knees screaming in agony. I lost my family November 1st, 2014 in a fatal car accident. And I started drinking. I stayed away from my DOC, but after 6 months of laying in bed, I've been drinking a gallon of vodka a day.
Wow.
Super Bowl Sunday, I was admitted into the hospital with pancreatitis and almost unalived. I was 24 years old when this happened. I am now 34, married to the man of my dreams, sober since 2015, with two beautiful boys, aged 4 and 7. You can share this, and I don't mind if you share using my name, so I'll give it here then. God bless you and what you are doing. This was submitted by, she said on TikTok her name is Ashley Nicole.
Oh, thank you, Ashley.
I'm so sorry for
Yeah.
all of that. There she is. She's in the comments.
God. Hi, Ashley.
All of that traumatic stuff. Man, I
Yes.
Can't imagine.
Oh,
My my heart goes out to you.
mm,
Um, and it sounds like you're living a wonderful life now, but that pain from the past still never goes away completely. That
exactly.
still it always stays with you.
Oh yeah. And then things happen that completely trigger it. And you're
Hmm.
all of a sudden you're back in it. And it it's awful. I'm so sorry.
Thank you so much for sharing your story and for being here. You have our support. Um,
Yeah, this place is full of strong people.
oh, so much.
Hmm.
I have another story. They don't give their TikTok name, but they can claim this again if they wish. I'm sitting in your live listening to all these stories, and I felt it was necessary to finally share mine. I never experienced much childhood trauma like everyone else, but I will say that addiction runs deep in my family. My brother was an H addict for 8 years, and he's now been sober for 7 years now. The very last time he ever touched a rug was at my wedding in 2017. It was my wedding reception, and I was having my first dance with my husband 7 years ago when I got news that my brother was overdosing downstairs and turning blue in the face. At that very moment, my heart sunk, and I dropped everything to run downstairs to see what was going on. My brother was laying in the parking lot, and the paramedics showed up very quickly. They shot him with 3 shots of Narcan before they could finally revive him in the hospital. Everyone told us they didn't think he would make it. They even had a chaplain waiting outside his hospital room to share the news with the family. Finally, after about 5 hours total of trying to revive him, he came to it. The final word we got was that his H was laced with elephant tranquilizer.
Oh my
I
God.
always told myself that after everything my brother put our family through for 8 years, I would never do rugs in my life. Well, in 2019, my grandpa passed away, and he was my absolute best friend. Started popping pain pills left and right, and it escalated very, very quickly from taking a few Percocet 5s or 10s throughout the day to taking 5 or 6 Percocet 30s at a time throughout the day, just to try and forget and cope with my life without my best friend. In January 2022, I got a job as a pharmacy technician at a CVS pharmacy, and that didn't help at all. I was secretly stealing pills from the stock bottle pretty frequently because I was addicted and hated being quote unquote sick. Well, in November 2022, I got fired from CVS Pharmacy for that very reason because they caught me on camera putting pills in my pocket.
Oh no.
All I thought was going to happen was just getting fired. That was it. Well, needless to say, a sheriff showed up at my door in May 2023, 6 months later, with indictment papers. I had to appear in court for a felony for theft of rugs charge. I got 1 year probation and had to go to treatment and random drug tests, etc. In a way, that changed my life. I now have been clean for a little over a year now, and I get off felony papers in July of this year. I could never go back to doing that ever in my life. And I am now helping others get clean in my local community. My husband has been my biggest supporter, in all caps, through this. And he stayed clean with me because he knew if I failed a rug test for probation, I'd go to prison for 18 months. I am now so happy, and I couldn't be more proud of my husband and I. And I can't wait to celebrate our sobriety date every year with him. I didn't do it just because of probation, but that's what opened my eyes and made me say, quote, "What the hell am I thinking?" unquote. Oh, I'm sorry, quote, "What the hell am I thinking? I have to do better. My kids need me," unquote. If
It's
I never got in legal trouble, though, I honestly don't know where I would be today. Thank you for listening to my story, and I adore you all so much.
thank you.
So
Thank you
thank
for
you to that
writing.
person sharing your story. And it just shows that the lengths that you know, this addiction can cause you to go to.
Yes.
Lynn is saying that was her.
Thank you so much, Lynn.
Thank you for sharing, Lynn. Thank you for sharing. It just shows the lengths that the addiction can take you to. But I'm glad that you're clean now, and I hope you can move past, the criminal side of things, because that makes things so much more difficult as well.
Mm,
And so I wish you so much success with
yes.
that, and I hope everything's going okay for you now. Yeah, it really does. It destroys so much,
Mhm.
but you just got to keep pushing on and keep moving up. Thank you
Exactly.
for being here.
There
You have our
is
support.
there is life on the other side of addiction, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It really is.
Um, Someone said that her cousin sent in a story and it hadn't been read yet, and I'm sorry if I missed it. It may have gone into my spam folder or something. So they sent it again for their cousin. So thank you for doing that, and I apologize if I missed it somehow. Their story was and they can claim that if they're here or not. I grew up Amish. During Rumspringa, I started using math. I got in really deep and was dealing to other ex-Amish kids. I missed my family and went back, but got caught with a backpack of math. They wanted me to turn on my friends, so I did. But the Amish church shunned me for turning against my own people. Listening to you, Scam, has changed my life. It says, I can share her name. She said, love, Leanne. So I hope Leanne is still here.
Yes.
Um, I don't know much about what's happening now. I hope you've been able to overcome that and move past that difficult part in your life, and that you're clean now.
It's a thing to remember about difficult parts of life is that they don't last forever. When you're in a panic and you're freaking out and things are awful, you just have to stop and go, okay, but this isn't forever. This sucks, but it's not forever.
This is a follow-up message. Do you recall the email that I got? And it was the one that included the family photo,
Yeah.
and the woman was speaking about her brother and her mother passing. So this is a follow-up from that person, that she wanted to add something. She said, I'd really like to know if anyone else does this, or am I crazy? When my brother, unalive, I had to go get his belongings. I came home and put his shampoo in my shower. It's been there for 2 years. His hoodie he last wore is hanging in my living room on the curtain rod. I wrapped a hoodie that smelled like him in like 20 bags. I kept his hairbrush. His shoes are on my shoe rack. His measuring cups are on my kitchen wall. Is this healthy to be doing?
Yes. So I can I can answer that. Uh yeah, I still have my son's baby blanket in a bag. And I smell it every now and then, and you know, he died in 1992. And you know, I have several people that have passed. I have their belongings near me, like when I sleep. It's just comforting.
Yeah,
And
I think that's normal. I mean,
yeah, I mean, it doesn't make you weird or crazy or anything like that. It's normal. Like that's your only connection that you have still to these people. The only thing that you can touch. And often these items like smell like the person. So, you know, you crave it.
mm-hmm.
Crave that energy, miss that person.
Now, I had someone in my family that was holding on to things like that, and she held on to them for years. But then after a period of time, she did actually want to get rid of some of the things, and but she had to do it in her time. She had to do it in her time when she was ready. And what she did was she took photos of some of the items, and some of them she just kept saved in her phone, but a few of the items she took pictures of and then actually had them made into like a picture to hang on the wall, like in a frame. Um, like one item was was some fashion jewelry. It wasn't anything of great value, but it was her mother's, and she didn't she didn't really want to wear them. She didn't feel comfortable doing that, but yet she had been holding on to them for a long time. So she took pictures of a bunch of the jewelry and made it into like I don't know, a picture to hang on the wall.
Love that.
Um, so that way she could still kind of have it without actually having the actual item. But it's
Right.
hard. There's some things that you may have that you are never comfortable getting rid of.
Yeah. Yeah, there are. I mean, honestly, I would never get rid. I keep the dumbest stuff from my brother. He passed away more recently than my son.
But that's the
Uh,
thing. It's not dumb stuff because it was
yeah,
theirs,
yeah, exactly. It's not. You're right. But other people might be like, why would you keep this? But I kept everything. Yeah,
Um,
in the ashes. I sleep with my brother's ashes, um, in in the area under my bed.
Hi.
Hi, Keeks. Welcome back.
Hi. So, real quick, love you guys, but I want to say that is like the smell and the touch, right? Those are one of the two strongest senses that we have. And my grandmother made me a blanket and I rubbed that satin edge off. Like I called it my Dee Dee, and I would use my fingers and rub, rub, rub. And then when I got married, my mom put my initial in it and then re-satin the edges. And then because I went on work trips, I lost it at a hotel. They threw it out. So then I never had it.
Oh,
But my grandfather, when he passed, somebody was saying that they had a teddy bear made out of a shirt. So all of us grandkids got a teddy bear made out of one of my grandfather's shirts.
very
So I
cool.
have that. And then my dad, uh he, me being a little 70s child, he was notorious for having long perm hair because he thought it made it thicker because he was thinning. And he used to wear patchouli, right? Like just, Vans guy, super surfer. And every time he'd come see me when I worked at a yogurt shop, he'd hug me and then I'd smell like patchouli the rest of the day. And I was like, ugh, ugh. And he worked for Star Wars. And actually, the movie Attack of the Clones, at the very end, it's dedicated to him. It's dedicated to Steve Bell.
Wow,
So
that's
Wow.
cool.
he was a visual artist. He was on his way to work on San Rafael Boulevard in San Francisco, and he had just a beater of a car, right? And he was bending over, getting something off of the floorboard, and wasn't wearing his seatbelt. And he looked up, and the sun was in his eyes, and he ran into the back of a bus. And I guess somebody was saying that he kind of crawled out and he was saying, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. And then he passed away. Well, because my family is who they are, they got all the paintings. I got the bloody eyebrow ring, is what I got from that. But it's okay because he gave me paintings before that. But what I want to say is that he had written or illustrated a children's book, and it's still out there. It's called A Train You Never Saw. Now, mind you, he was an addict. So, in one of the in one of the pages that he illustrated, first of all, it's a book about trains. So it's a bus, it's a lion train, it's a dinosaur train. It's for kids, but he would hide hot air balloons in the pictures. I don't know why. I'm going to get to that in a minute. But anyway, one of the pages, it was all about probably AA, like a lot of what AA stands for. It was a lot of bottles. It was a lot of like misinformation, untruths, and then being worthy, and a lot of or all the steps. So that was nice. But then I thought to myself, why was he hiding all the hot air balloons? Right? I'll never know. But then I had an artist that I went to high school with. I commissioned a piece that he did for me, and he hid a hot air balloon in there for me. And then my kids gave me a hot air balloon for Christmas. And then I have a hot air balloon like wind chime. Like that's just kind of what
Wow.
I feel like he represents. So it might just be, and I don't know. And I love all the theories, right? But I'll smell. And you know patchouli is such a strong scent. And I'm not anywhere, but I'll smell it in my house. And you know he's around.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, no, I think it's, normal to keep certain things around
Oh
or
yeah.
things that they enjoyed. But
Yeah.
it's like kind of like I said though, at one point then, this family member of mine, she felt like she was ready to part with some things
Yeah.
because you know what I mean? She did keep some things, but
When it's
there was certain things
theirs,
she was ready to part with, and so
right.
that's how she dealt with it,
So when it's strong to them, right? It's not strong to you. It's strong to them. They have to be the ones that are ready to part with it. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Like the fact that I have like half family I don't even talk to, but they all went through, they got us guitars, they got oil pieces, all these great things. But I have two pieces that he gave specifically to me. And I'm thankful for that. Now, there are other pieces that I look at and I'm like, damn, I want that. But it's okay, because then I have to know he was my dad. The lineage goes through me, certain things. So that, I guess, when you have to say sometimes those things are just things.
Yep.
And
that's the point my friend got to. She was
yeah.
like, me keeping certain things
But
is
also,
not going to,
Polly, I understand the blanket. I'd never get rid of that. Like, I would never. But
yeah.
but when there are things that they had multitudes of things, they had family trying to pick through, and then I get the bloody eyebrow ring, and I'm the daughter. And then my uncle says, "Well, you're not legally his daughter anymore because your stepdad adopted you," and I'm like, "Really? Okay," because he wasn't a part of my life anymore, and I'm like, no, my dad is still my blood. You have 5 kids, 3 that are daughters. Should I just go tell them that if they get a stepdad that you're no longer their dad anymore?
Right.
Just really strange. And we all live, like I'm in San Diego, right? We're in a tiny little town. We
Well, I
see each
wouldn't give
other.
out too much personal
I know,
information
sorry.
about yourself
I'm
on here.
I'm in SoCal. But we're in a tiny place where we all run into each other. So it could be weird. But Polly, yeah, I would never give that up. But I do that smell and that touch, right? That is.
Yep. Absolutely.
Man, that's such a thing. I don't know.
Yep. Well,
Okay,
we
also
agree.
I really want to say that all of us being here and we've all shared so much and we've gone through so much and we've cried, we've kind of giggled. Well, I don't know how much we've giggled, but Lisa hasn't been live. Like,
True. Maybe she's watching. I hope she is.
well, I hope she is, right? But at the same time, we're not constantly just watching that. We are sharing stories, we are healing, we are talking. Like it's kind of been a good night, is all I want to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And
know.
we've had other sessions like this, and when
I know I'm
people want to
muted.
if people want to say, "Oh, we're streaming 30 hours about Lisa," no, we're not. No, we're not. We're doing lots of
Yeah.
other things,
No,
and
and
we're
I'm new to this, so yeah. But
yeah.
I'm thankful. Anyway, okay, you can let me down. Thanks
All
for
right, thank
chatting.
you,
Okay,
Keeks. We
bye.
appreciate you. Stick around.
Okay.
Right.
Because I have
Yeah.
another story, and this person definitely wants to stay anonymous, but they want to share. And this is what they say. I'm a middle child. My older brother is 39 and addicted to H and F. December 3rd, 2022, on my birthday, he OD'd and has been in a facility with a TBI since.
No.
He can't walk, can't talk, can't feed himself. He is a shell of himself. My youngest brother, he's 18 forever. He took his own life by Pew Pew on December 13th, 2023. He had also recently started using H a couple of months before.
It's
I'm 35 and the only one in my family that hasn't struggled with addiction. I tried to save them both, but I couldn't. My mom blames me for both of them.
terrible.
She hasn't
What?
spoken to me.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
She
Oh
hasn't spoken to
God.
me since a few days after my younger brother committed. She blocked me.
Oh,
I've got no family left because Ruggs took all of them. This live has been powerful, and I'm so glad I found you guys tonight. I'm so sorry because you lost family members that were close to you, and now, you don't have a relationship with your mother because of all of that. And as you said, you basically got no family, and all the root of all of that was the Rugs. And I'm so sorry. It's so hard, and
I'm so sorry. I am so. You know what? We we have made a family here. That was honestly not our intention when we started this. But
mhm,
you know what? This has been a beautiful experience, and I'm so glad for it, and I'm better for it, and I feel like everyone else is better for it too.
mhm,
You know, we're all here. Scam Slam Fam is really, really a thing.
yeah. I have a few more. Um, this person said I can share their name. Hopefully they're still in here. They are PNW Girly.
Oh, I love them.
Me too. This is her email. What you, Polly, and Tattoos are doing with this platform is amazing. I wanted to share my story with you all. I am the daughter of an addict. My father is an alcoholic, and not just a stay at home and drink alcoholic. He drinks to drive and runs around with open containers in his console. My father was a horrible person when drinking, which was all the time. He'd pace around in his front yard. He would go around using the bathroom in his pants, and he wouldn't even know. When I use the past tense with my dad, it's not because he's passed. It's because he chooses his addiction over his family. Last November, I had to make the hardest decision in my life: to cut all ties and contact with him. It's a decision that haunts me to this day, but he is so far into his addiction, I had no choice. He's called me every name in the book, even tried to call CPS on me because I took his granddaughter away from him. They laughed at him, but still, that mentality messed me and my family up. I had to cut ties because I needed to protect my now 12-year-old from him. When I see Lisa, and knowing she's a parent, I see so much of my dad in her. Help is out there. There are resources. My dad, as a veteran, has so many different chances to go to rehab and get help, but he can't see past the bottom of the beer can. It hurts not knowing if my dad is still alive or not. As a child of an addict, I beg someone, like Lisa, please accept help. Your kids and your family need you. You can be the greatest success story. I know that's hard to see, but it's possible. I just wish my dad could see that.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for sharing, and I'm so sorry that your dad is still has that addiction to alcohol, and it seems like he's not making the right choices. And I know you feel guilt for having to cut ties, but I completely understand that. I
You have
completely
to.
understand that.
You have to sometimes. You just have to.
Yeah, I've had to do it. I've
You,
had to cut ties with people
you can't
in my
have
life.
faith in people.
Mm-hmm. You have to for your own safety and sanity, the safety of your children, your family,
Hmm.
everything. Um, I mean, I'm just saying this is a what if, but I mean, what if your father wanted to drive your son somewhere, and you know that he's drinking and driving, I mean, it could put people in danger. And unfortunately, he's already putting people in danger with doing that. And you just can't risk it. Just can't risk it.
Oh,
Um, so I understand your pain there. I've had to cut people off too.
yeah. I have as well. Tough. It's tough, but you have to choose yourself at some point.
Mm-hmm.
You have your
Absolutely.
own mental health. You,
This next story is from Teresa MF74. She said I could share her name. She says, so listening to everyone's stories, I decided it is now my time to tell mine. I was beat and abused for 6 years by a man that I thought was the only man that would ever love me. He beat me with bats. He beat me with his fist. He beat me with what he could get his hands on. It resulted in me losing my children because they told me that I was at risk of endangering them because of the abuse. So after I lost my children that same night, I decided I was going to end my life somehow or another.
oh no.
A friend of mine knew what I was doing and showed up at the hotel room where I was at. I call him my angel to this day because he really saved my life. But then I moved away because I felt like I had nothing left to live for. So I went chasing after what I thought was a good life. What ended up happening was I ended up putting a needle in my arm for the first time. It was then that not only was I using rugs, but I was also selling them. I did this for 4 years. I felt like I deserved it. I felt like I deserved nothing better but to hurt myself because I lost the only thing that was worth living for, and that was my children. One day, I woke up and decided I was done. I was so tired. So I turned myself in for an old warrant to go to jail, where I ended up getting clean for 2 months. I came out of there with my children standing there waiting for me.
Yeah.
That's when I decided that I was never going to touch another rug. I was never going to touch another drop because I had something to live for. And it was my 4 beautiful children, and 2 of them are autistic. They're the light of my life, and that's why I fight so hard to get these children a better life, away
Mhm.
from these addicts. I succeeded with one, and I won't stop with just her. I feel Lisa needs to get some type of help. She deserves to know what it feels like to be clean and to know what being a real mom is.
Mhm.
I hope one day she'll wake up just like I did.
Yes.
Wow, that is such a, I don't know. It's a really touching story. It's
Mhm.
really sad, with all of the abuse that went on there in the beginning, but it shows that you turn things around. You turn
Mhm.
things around, and so I look at that as more of a very inspirational story.
It really, really, really was.
I mean, that is a comeback story right there.
Mhm.
And I thank you, Teresa, for sharing that. I congratulate you on your sobriety and your success. And I really think that is a true, success and comeback story. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much, Teresa. She's here in the chat.
Thank you, Teresa.
9 years. 9 years. Wow. Thank you for sharing.
You're amazing.
Let's see. This person wants to stay anonymous. Thank you for all your hard work each day on spreading awareness. Your lives are always my favorite compared to others because there's others' actual purpose and not people bickering back and forth about irrelevant things. We try to not do that.
We're guilty of that sometimes,
Yeah.
occasionally.
Sometimes we get sucked in, but we really, really try to avoid that. So thank you. Lisa reminds me a lot of my mom. When she's nodding off, it's like I'm looking at my mom again. When she's screaming at her kids and convincing them to lie. All my mom. Since fourth grade, I'm now 28 years old. My mom has been addicted to pain pills. It all started when she was diagnosed with lupus and MS. She became someone I never knew. Her anger was terrifying. I listened to her and my stepdad screaming many nights with objects being thrown. I would cry out, "Please stop." I'd get told to shut up. She's been caught walking on the highway numerous times because family got sick of driving her to the hospital so much.
Wow.
She never came to any of my sporting events all 4 years of high school. She came to my college graduation, but left before I walked. She would be so doped up she would crawl into my room nonchalantly and ask why my nephew was crying when he was never even there. Many times she told my stepdad all these pills are only, quote, to deal with him, unquote. They stayed together until I graduated high school. It was smart in their eyes, but torture for me. My stepdad hated the person my mom had become. Skip to my college years, me living with my mom. On top of being pressured to finish out a college degree I lost interest in, I also had to work because my mom claimed she could not work. I deal with migraines. My mom gave me one of her oxys when they were bad enough many times,
Wow.
even if I said no. This led to my pill addiction. I passed out behind the wheel after I took one of my mom's that I had stolen. Yes, I started liking the feeling so much that I would steal. Even go to the point of breaking her lockbox open to get oxys, Zans, etc. I'm very ashamed looking back. That gave me a DUI. I realized I cannot have any relationship with my mom. It's been 5 years since we've gone no contact. I absolutely miss her, and I wish that I could have that strong mother-daughter relationship all the time. But I've learned how important my peace is, and that it's okay to put myself first. Though I'm not sad to say, I am not completely sober. Though I'm sad to say, I am not completely sober. I have not had a strong pill reaction since the conviction. Also, in case anyone is wondering, she can all of a sudden work now, and has been since I moved out.
Hmm.
I don't want Lisa's kids to feel how my mom has made me feel. There's days I cry because I'm going through so much and I just want my mom to vent to. But I think back to all the pain, all the addiction, all the walking on eggshells. I deserve better. So does she. And I hope she takes the steps to do that for herself. I do too. I
Me
hope she
too.
does take those steps one
Mm-hmm.
day. I wish the best for her and for you because I
Absolutely.
know it's difficult for you too to go no contact with your own mother.
Right.
And
You
thank
have to
you.
do what you have to do to protect yourself.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing your story. I'm sorry you went through all those traumatic things as well when you were young with your mother. It's really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
This was someone that decided to remain anonymous. T. Good night, Shannon.
I'm so glad they shared. Good night, Shannon.
Yeah, thank you for sending that. So
On the
sorry. Um, Let me see.
You got to be so strong to make that choice. And it has to be so horrible that staying just is not an option. Like you have to just leave just to protect
mhm,
yourself.
absolutely. This person gave me their TikTok name, but I'm not sure if they wanted to share that, or if they just wanted me to know that. So I'm just gonna read it, and if they're here, they can claim this story. Um, she said, "This is my story, and I would like to share this. Back in 2016, I was pregnant with my four baby girl. I'm not sure if she means fourth. I was excited, and I couldn't wait for her to get here. I had a lot of appointments, and I knew something was off, but they kept telling me nothing was wrong. Well, I said okay, and went on. Well, a couple weeks went by, and I had some really bad cramps, like someone stabbing me in my belly. Went to the
Mm.
hospital, and I gave birth to my little girl. Well, she had a lot of problems. She was in the ICU for weeks. They did tests and all that. Well, come to find out, she had a blockage in her heart, and they needed to put a shunt in. Mind you, she was 3 days old.
Oh.
So I'd always stayed at the Ronald McDonald House for parents that lived out of the city. Well, I went home that night, and I did my nightly checks like I would do regularly. And one night I called. They said, "Please come in. We need you to come in." So I called my mom, and we went to the hospital. When we got there, they said, "We don't think your daughter's going to make it."
Oh.
So I said, "What do you mean she isn't going to make it?" They said that her heart just wasn't strong enough. And I had been taking pills to numb the pain and mixing alcohol while she was in the hospital. Well, I went to the room where we went to, away from everyone, and me and my family went in there and spent time before they could come in and give her morphine. Well, they came in 5 times. My uncle was holding her. I knew something was wrong the way he looked at me. So I ran out of the room, and I knew she had passed just 15 minutes.
Oh no.
All I could do was sit in the room with my daughter in the bed and cry after she passed. I took pills and drank so much I wanted to be with my baby. I tried everything I could. Well, I ended up in the hospital, having them pump my stomach, and I'm glad to be here today. And my 17-year-old daughter's birthday is at the beginning of April, and her birthday is at the end of April, so it's very hard for me. Thank you for sharing my story. So if you're here in the comments and you want to claim that,
Yeah.
please do. I didn't know if you wanted me to read your username.
Wow.
I am so sorry.
Mm.
Um, I know, Polly, you can identify with
Oh
that.
yeah.
Blue Eyes in the comments sent
Oh,
that. I'm so
God.
sorry, Blue Eyes, and I know Polly can identify
Absolutely.
completely with that.
Absolutely. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Blue Eyes. I'm giving you the biggest hug right now through the ether. I'm
Just
just
to just a quick, yeah, thank you for sharing. I'm so sorry. Just a quick side note, really quick, because again, I just go through things in order here. The fake Scam Slam account is trying to follow people here.
mm, indeed.
They're trying to follow people. So be careful.
Mm-hmm.
This is an anonymous story. I want to start this story by telling you how truly beautiful you guys are for everything you're doing. You gave me purpose again. You helped give me my confidence back. I'm 8 years clean now after 5 years on a variety of rugs, whatever I could get my hands on. I'm 25. My story really starts at 12. I was, oh, okay. I was raped by my best friend's older brother. He was 18, a rug dealer. Told me that I
Oh,
should try this new strain of the lettuce. It wasn't lettuce, it was H.
oh no.
I got pregnant 2 months later, and my rug use took my twin girls.
Mm.
Ugh, I'm so sorry. Sent me into a spiral. I escaped my groomer. He went to prison, but left me in a state of depression and addiction. When I was 15, I got pregnant again, the boy I was with. Her father was also a user. One night, I couldn't score, and he put me in the hospital. Broken ribs, shattered femur, and she was gone. My baby.
Mm.
I know she watches over me from wherever she is, but she's gone. Having lost 3 babies at 15, I've dug deeper into my addiction. Anything and everything. I finally got clean because of my husband. He wouldn't leave me alone. He pushed and called out my lies. He would follow me around as he lived across the street. He never stopped, and one day I survived F. In the hospital again at 17. My husband told me it was a good thing he followed me. By the way, we barely knew each other, just had the same friend circles. He told me he cared about me and that he would keep rescuing me if he had to. This man that I pushed away for years held on to the life that I didn't give a shit about. He is my savior. He helped me find myself, and I could never ask for a better best friend. We also have 2 little girls now, and they are the favoriteest thing on this planet. And they
Mm.
wouldn't exist if it wasn't for my husband. Just like you, he pushed the hard truths. Thank you. I'm sorry it's so long. Wow. Went through a lot. Again, as such a young girl,
Mm.
and I am so sorry for that. But again, it really sounds like a success story here. Thank goodness that your husband didn't give up on you.
I
And
love that story, and I
yes,
think it's amazing, and so sweet. Um, but my heart breaks for how fast you had to grow up.
oh my gosh, yeah, and the losses at such a young
Mhm.
age.
Exactly, which forces you to have to grow up real, real fast.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
bad. I'm so sorry.
Um, so I have another one. Trying to see if they said whether I won't say their name, but if they want to reveal themselves, they can. They say, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but first let me start by saying I love you all. It's
Mhm.
never a dull moment on your lives, and I can't get enough of it. To every single person gifting and sending Lisa money, if you don't listen to anything Scam and her team tells you, please take a moment to listen to my story. I was fresh out of nursing school, not even a year. In nursing, you all become one big family. Nursing is no joke. It's long hours. We're spending 16 hours a day with the same faces sometimes. We all become very close to each other. One day I got a call from the coworker who was supposed to be working a 16-hour shift. She asked me if I would go in, work an evening shift for her because she said she had an emergency with her kids. I went in and relieved her that afternoon. As we were giving report and counting our medicine box, she asked if she could borrow $50. I never asked why, but she said she would return it in a couple of days, on payday. Of course I said yes, because that's who I am. Well, was. She left and was supposed to be back at 11 p.m. for her midnight shift. Midnight came around. She wasn't there. 2 a.m., she still wasn't there, and my messages to her went unread. I didn't make a big deal about it because I didn't want to get her in trouble, so I stayed at work in her place. 4 a.m. came, and I will never forget it. A police officer rang the doorbell to get into the building, so I walk up to the front, put in the code, and open the door for him. And I will never forget the words that came out of his mouth as he stood there, holding her name tag. Those words I won't repeat, but just know there was a car accident. Her and her 2 babies were all pronounced unalived on the scene and unrecognizable.
Oh my God.
She was highly intoxicated, and some white powder was involved, if you know what I mean. But I can't help to think that my $50 bought her the alcohol and that white powder, and my $50 was her very last.
Oh
It's
my
been
God.
10 years, therapy session after therapy session, and I still have never forgiven myself for giving her that money. The way that it has affected my life is unbearable at times. I close my eyes, I think of her babies. Flashbacks of her face that night she clocked out replay in my head over and over again. Still today. After that, I had become so depressed. Just a small shell of who I was. I mentally could not work as a nurse any longer. Took a couple of years off and had to leave that job completely. Just know I'm stronger today than I ever been. Although this still haunts me to my core, I'm thriving and I'm back into nursing. Some people say I've never been the same, but that's okay. I know I will get there someday. Please, if you are gifting Lisa or giving her money, please stop. I would never wish this unbearable pain that I've been carrying through the years upon anybody, not even the trolls. Scam, if you're feeling up to it, please be my voice and tell my story. I've never been able to tell it myself. Say my name if you want to. I want everybody to know that my DMs are open 24/7. I hope they're in here. I'm not sure if they commented as to who they are. Maybe somebody out there is going through the same thing and they will need to talk, or maybe this will touch one of those enablers and they will need to talk. Um, their name on here is Rosie, so I hope Rosie is here because she said I could say her name. I'm not sure if she's still here or not. Wow, that's powerful, and
Mhm.
it really, really emphasizes what can happen
Mhm.
in these situations. And I'm so sorry that you have that guilt and that you're having to live with that. Um, and I'm so sorry for her family.
I am
Thank you for
too.
sharing. Thank you for sharing, Rosie. Um, this is someone who wants to stay anonymous. My story is that from a very young age, my mother was an addict to alcohol. She's been in many rehabs and will not change her life. I've had to cut ties with her as she's very toxic. I recently had to contact the police to find her. Found out she's homeless and living rough. Um, Not sure if there was something else that was supposed to go with that because it kind of cuts off, but so sorry. Um, Again, someone who had to cut ties with a family member, which is so difficult. And sometimes you have to do that. And I'm sorry that she's homeless and living a rough life right now. I hope she can get some help. Thank you for sharing your story.
Yes.
I have a story here. Um, all right. This is the next story. Let me start by saying my addiction never went as deep as others in here, but here's my story. Excuse me. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I was SA by my mom's husband for 3 years. I was only 7 years old. He told me if I ever told anyone, he would unalive me. I finally got the courage to tell my mom, but she never listened and it continued. Eventually, I ended up in the foster system, and my parents adopted me when I was 11 years old. They were amazing parents. When I turned 18, I rebelled, started drinking heavily, and using the crocheting, let's say, to bury the hurt from my childhood. I was young and naive and gullible, and I moved back in with my birth mother. The rug and booze use went on for 2 years, and then I found out I was pregnant, and I quit cold turkey for the sake of the baby. I had a beautiful baby boy, and he was my rock. I met a man I thought would be my forever man. Then I saw his dark side. He drank and beat me. Um, Give me 1 second. I lost my place. I think I have to charge my phone up. I apologize. Hold on. I don't want this.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You're good. You're good. This is emotional, and it's been a long life, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
going right
so
back.
she saw his dark side. He drank and beat her. And after I found out I was pregnant with my daughter, she was born with HLHS, which is half a heart. I lived at the hospital with her since my birth mom had kicked me out. She was mad that I chose to keep my daughter who was special needs. I lost my daughter when she was 13 months old, and my birth mom fought and won custody of my son. When her funeral came, they all left, and it was just me on my knees screaming as they put her tiny casket in the ground. I
Oh
started
God.
drinking again 24/7. Then I met an amazing man who broke through my walls and helped me become the mom I am today. We were together for 13 years before we finally got married September of last year, the best day of my life. I have three beautiful boys, but my oldest is almost 18 and headed down the wrong path and had disowned me completely because my birth mom has brainwashed him. My other two boys, 8 and 12, are my world and the reason I can no longer drink or do cocaine, and my husband is a blessing. His family has taken me in, and I've never felt so loved. Sorry it's so long, but my heart said you need to get this off your chest. Please feel free to share these photos. The Fozzie Bear, there's a picture of a Fozzie Bear, was my comfort when I was a kid. He was my safe place when I cried myself to sleep at night. The hand mold was done after my daughter took her last breath in my arms, and I've attached my favorite photo of her. So I'm going to show
Oh,
those now.
my heart. Hmm. Look at Fuzzy.
And there's the hand mold.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
So sorry.
I'm so sorry. I know that pain. It's a pain like no other. Oh my god. So cute. Baby face.
My heart goes out to you.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my
It sounds like you are so happy with your husband now, though. You could say that was like the best day of your life was marrying him, and I'm so happy for that for you.
Thank
I
you.
really am.
Really
Thank
am.
you so much.
That's so
Jeff's Bug Juice said that was my story, aka Dog Mama.
cool. Oh. Wow.
I hope you guys can still see and hear and everything because my screen is like freezing up on my phone, so I'm not sure what's happening, but as long as you're still there, I'm gonna keep going, okay?
No, we're still here. We can still see everything.
Yeah, it's doing some kind of weird spinning thing in the background, but as long as you're still here, that's
Yeah, we're
fine.
still here.
Okay. Have another story here. I'm not sure if they want to reveal themselves or not, and they can certainly do that. I've never been a rug abuser, but my mother was a rug and alcohol addict. Started when I was 11. She was also a prostitute when I was at the age of 11, making sure my mother wouldn't OD while trying to care for my four sisters, plus doing yard work for neighbors to get food or rent money, trying to go to school all at the same time. Took 6 years, but my mother finally got clean. Say I should forgive her and start a relationship with her, but to me, my mother unalived at 11. If a mother can do that and allow her Johns to grape her daughter, then that's not a mother. I came across y'all's live one day, and to see how y'all have brought awareness and to get Jace finally out of the house has put so many memories I went through with my mother at ease. To know that child don't have to live a life I had to live. Thank you for all you do. I've been through so much abuse in my life that y'all bringing awareness is something I'm very grateful for. Thank y'all again for all y'all do. So sorry you went through all of that at such a young age and all of that with your mother. That has to be,
It
it's
is.
just unbelievable. It's devastating.
It is. It is absolutely devastating. It steals your innocence. It makes you not be able to trust people. Ugh.
Affects you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, for the rest of your life. I have a really hard time being in an intimate relationship because of it. And I'm 51. And, that all happened to me when I was young. And
Hmm.
I can't really get over it. I mean, I try to, I'd like to, but you look in the mirror and that's all you see.
Hmm. Another story. I'm one of the very few that is extremely lucky and has not experienced a drug addiction for myself or anyone I love. These stories are breaking my heart, and I just wanted to say I'm sorry to everyone that has shared stories tonight, and I send love to everyone. I also wanted to say to you, Scam, that you've helped even those of us that haven't experienced it. When I first came across Lisa, I figured maybe she had a history with addiction, but never would have thought it was active. That was over a month ago. You've opened my eyes to what an active addict looks like and how dangerous it is to give money to people you don't know online. Thank you for everything you do for this community you've built. Thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. I don't know if you want your name given out, so if you want to claim that, you may. Um, if not, I appreciate that. Appreciate that so very much. This person says I can read their username. It is Oakley's mom, and I did see her here. I didn't have a traumatic childhood or adulthood. I actually had a good life until I got pregnant at 18, when my life changed for the worse. My daughter, a sperm donor, meaning the father, was a meth addict and left until she was 12. My stepdad was an H addict and alcoholic, but was in recovery. He was clean until 2020 and relapsed. He is now really bad on pills and alcohol. He now has my mother addicted to pills, so I made the difficult decision a year ago to walk away from my mom. My oldest daughter is now 18, and I recently found out she is doing 420 and has recently started taking pills, and I haven't heard from her in 6 months. Oh. I feel like such a failure as a mom to my daughter, so now I have no family left. Thank you for taking the time to read this. Oakley's mom.
Oh,
Ugh, I'm so sorry. I hope that you at least hear from your daughter, to know
yes.
that she's okay. I mean, and I'm so sorry about your mom and stepdad. I understand having to break free from, toxic family members, but I hope that you at least find out that your daughter is okay. I can't imagine the worry that you go through every night about that.
I would lose my fucking mind. I would lose my fucking mind.
I have an email here, and they can claim it if they would like. I don't see, I see the name on the email, but I don't know their TikTok username. Hello, just wanted to say I like your lives you do. It helps the people to know what scammers do. I just don't understand why people try to defend scammers like Lisa. Every dime they send is pushing scammers closer and closer to the edge. They need to stop defending scammers and realize what you're doing is helping not just Lisa, but all and any other scammers and people might think to send money to. Them scammers need to take responsibility. Stop blaming other people for their mistakes. People who blame you guys for doing the wrong by streaming their live, they fail to understand that spreading awareness helps keep scammers alive and helps the community from getting scammed. For everyone who says any different or blames you, they need to look twice at it and look at themselves in the mirror. Thanks for all you do. God bless you and Polly and Tattoos. Keep up the good work. Thank you
Wow,
so much. I appreciate that.
so sweet.
If you want to take credit, you can. I didn't see, I wasn't able to look at the comments while I was reading that, so I'm not sure if they claimed that. I think it is somebody who's here all the time, and so we appreciate your support. Really do. And thank you for sending that.
Thank you so much.
This is somebody who added on to a story, I think, from earlier. Oh, this is the an addition to the story where she found out that her mother was homeless and living really rough.
Okay.
So this is an addition to that. My mom has also been in prison a few times. Come straight out to the bottle. Been to rehabs, straight to the bottle. Me and my father have tried to get her straight, and she never listens. All of this started when I was 5 years old, and I am now 32. Having to resort to contacting to police to contact her is hard, as no one should have to do that. I've tried to explain that I miss my bubbly mom, and all she does is cry and continues her bad habits. I haven't had a mother-daughter relationship with her since I was at least 12. I cut ties with her when I was 18. Sadly, addiction drives people away. My mom does the same like Lisa and asks for money to enable addiction. All I can see is Lisa and my mom. So sorry. And that's why it is some of this is so hard to watch with what's going on with Lisa, because there are so many people that can identify
Yeah.
with that. So many people can identify with the situation, and there's no easy solutions here in any of this. Very powerful. So thank you for sharing, and I'm so sorry.
Yes. These letters
Um,
are so raw and beautiful and tragic.
I think I just have two more here as of now. I'm not sure if you want me to share your name. I think they're here and they can say that this is them if they would like. I know I'm pretty known for sharing deep stories, but this one literally still haunts me. 2 years later, I can't believe my own best friend has been gone. She was bright, brave, courageous, and just so amazing. I was out hanging out with my best friend's family while she was out getting some stuff for a birthday party for her little niece the next day. Yeah, she drank. She had fun, like every normal teenager would, but obviously, responsibility. She never went out to the bars, but stayed home and had the occasional drink with her family. She was working on getting prepared to go to college shortly after high school because she really wanted to become a scientist. But later that night will be the most memorable pain I will forever remember, and the look on the family's face that I still love and keep in close contact with until this very day. But later on the night, when she was on her way back home from getting supplies for the birthday party, she was unalived in a brutal accident from a drunk driver. The police came back with her car keys to tell that she was no longer here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, this goes to show that addiction is not a game or a joke to play around in. This is either a life or death situation for millions of people. Hold your loved ones close because you never know when they'll be gone. So sorry. That is so sad.
So sad, and it's so true. You don't know. You don't, and it's awful.
That was not Lisa's plug. And thank you for sharing your story. And I'm so sorry that you lost your best friend. So sorry. I'm sure she was amazing.
Yes, I'm sure she was.
Yeah, it's been a deep night. Let me see if I have anything else in my spam folder. Nope. I think all I have in my email requests, believe it or not, are requests to join the Discord.
Yay.
So I still have lots of those to get through. Oh wait, I do have one more. I'm so sorry I missed this. Um, I'm not sure if she wants me to give her name. She's still here. She can claim this. Okay, I'll catch Lisa in just a moment. I want to I want to read this story. I want to respect this story that I am prepared to read. Okay, I understand Lisa's on, but please allow the respect to finish the story. I thought I would share a story that has unfolded before my eyes for years. I am clean and sober for 10 years now, and am strong in my recovery. My 30-year-old daughter has been addicted to numerous substances since the age of 14. She's been drinking heavy 4 to 6 bottles of wine a day. Yes, that's a lot. She was hospitalized 3 years ago with liver and pancreas disease. Oh. Since then, she's been to 2 treatment centers, only to remain clean a few days. Last night, she said to me, "Mommy, I can't do this anymore. I want my life back." This morning, she was admitted to a medical detox center, and I did the ugly cry knowing that she is now safe. I haven't slept a full night in about 6 months, always wondering if she was okay. I'm sitting in your live listening to stories and crying. My girl has another shot at life, and I hope she embraces it and runs. I know tonight I can rest easy, as I know she's in good hands and being medically supervised. Thank you, Polly and Tattoo's hard work. Please keep me in your thoughts and prayers. Signed, One Relieved Happy Mom. And the topic of the subject of her email was Happy Mom.
Aww.
So while I know that was so difficult, we fully support you and your daughter. I wish the best. Sunbeamer says that story is hers. Sunbeamer, thank goodness that she took that step, and I hope you'll keep us posted. We all 100% want a success story for her.
We do.
A
Absolutely.
couple other people did send me stories, but I am gonna jump over to Lisa, and we can discuss after if
And
I can
tattoos.
find what account she's on. I'm
Tattoos.
sorry.
Tattoos.
Okay, give me a second.
Okay.
And they're $3 a pack.
I can't do anything
Yeah.
because my screen
Some
is
of these are
locked.
just really rough.
Hold on.
But I will get them if I have to, you know. Sometimes that's all I have.
Will you guys come back if I restart?
Yes.
Like my screen is not responding. So I think I need to get out of TikTok and restart.
Okay, you got it.
Okay, so just please come back. I will be right back. I'm just having some kind of issue where I can't do anything on my screen. I will be right back, I promise.
Gotcha.
All right, bye.